Hi, I want to talk to you today about having a cheap solar setup in your vehicle, especially if you have a van and you don't want to drill holes in the roof. If you don't want to buy, you know, flat panels and glue them down and drill a hole through the roof, can you have any type of solar in a vehicle? Yes, you can, but you will not get the amount of solar that you would on top with a lot of panels, but it does work. Now, what I have here is main line 2 gauge welder's wire here and here going to my main battery. Now my battery is a lead acid dual cycle marine battery. Now up here you can see the 30-watt solar panel. Here you can see my 1100-watt power inverter, and of course the charger controller is over there. It is charging. Now I do have one of these volt monitors. Tells you how many voltage you have, but this thing is really hard to see, so I'm not going to hook it up. If you buy one of these, this is the blue one, buy a red one. They're easier to see. Now I do have a couple bus bars here. I will show you those in a minute. Now here I have my main shut off. Now do not have your solar panels connected to your charger controller if your battery is shut off. Alright, now I can also run the vehicle this way, having it hooked up. Now I can take this panel and I can just set it over on the floor and get it out from up here if nobody's in the front seat. I can disconnect the panel from the charger controller if I have to and just put it somewhere else. Now I do have, like I say, 1100 watt here power inverter. This is a modified sine wave. It's 1100 to 2200 watt peak. This is a Power Bright. I did purchase this from AutoZone. When I purchased mine, this one, they were $99.99 and they're like $105, $106 now. Now you can also use this right here, the way it's connected, to charge up your starter battery if you have a low starter battery. Alright, let's get to talking about this. As you can see, I have a 2 gauge coming in. I also have 2 gauge going out. Now I could have put these in different places, set them like down here lower, but I wanted them high enough I could get to them. This is a cheap solar setup that if you want to charge like battery packs, USB stuff, then this is probably the cheapest one you're going to get it. If you're not going to have an inverter in your vehicle, you can get away with a much smaller wire than this going to your starter battery. But you definitely need a shut off, unless you're going to be disconnecting the solar panel itself, or having an extra battery. Now that'd be fine. I could put an extra battery in here, but this way is cheap. It's pretty easy to do. Now I do want the power inverter in here. If I turn this inverter on, that's how many volts. If I put it on watts, it's 0 because it's not putting any watts out. Put it back to volts. And let me turn that off. Like I said, this is a cheap setup for somebody that just needs something quick. And if you don't want to drill a hole through the top of your vehicle, this is the best way to do it. Is just have a solar panel or 2 solar panels right here in your front window. Now let me show you over here, and I'll show you what I did. Now if you're going to be running heavy things off this power inverter, hardwire it in. I did not hardwire it in. I just have it plugged into the cigarette lighter here. And let me show you what I got here. And right here is the charger controller. If you watched any of my videos on my van, you already know I already had the wires ran here, and I ran the negative here, and this is a ground negative. If you were going to be running anything, then I definitely would have a fuse. This wire here does have a fuse up by the battery. That one right there. And the cigarette lighter has a fuse here. Now, like I said, if I was going to be using my power inverter for something like a microwave, which I know this will run my 700 watt microwave, what I would do is I would hardwire that straight to here. Now, what I intended to do with this was not my inverter. What I intended to do with this was 100% for my fridge. I have already shown the fridge. It will sit between my seats, and I can run it off here. Now, the problem is during the night, unless I have an extra battery hooked up, it will draw that down quite a bit. So what I would do is I would run that during the day as much as possible. Then at night, when the sun starts going down and the power starts going out and the battery starts getting a draw on it a great deal, I would run the vehicle. Which I would probably do that anyway a couple times during the day and let the alternator help charge that battery back up. I would not let that battery drop below 50%. This is probably one of the cheapest ways you're going to get solar in a vehicle. Is with one or two small panels, charger controller, and have it wired up to some type of bus bar or wired straight to your battery. But remember, if you have it straight to your battery, definitely have some type of shutoff on it. Now, if I wanted to, if for some reason I had to sleep in the vehicle right now, I could absolutely plug a fan in here right here and run it even off the cigarette lighter. And I still have, you can tell, I still have plenty of places for power inverters and for small stuff. I could hook plenty of USB stuff up here. I still have 6 screws for USB or low watt stuff or whatever. And for the heavy duty stuff, I have these. Alright, I just wanted to show you. I will leave this out here a while. Just hooked up. And let the sun, make sure my battery's fully charged up. And let the sun do its work. But if you want some cheap solar or inexpensive solar that will help you charge like small things like battery packs, this is probably the best way to do it. Is just have it off your vehicle starter battery. Just have a shut off so you don't drain your battery after dark, and have a single small or two small solar panels. This is the 30 watt solar panel that I showed in the house window, in the window in the house not that long ago. And get a power inverter. These here were pretty expensive. They were $36, I believe. The solar panel was $45, if I recall. No, it's $39 something, $40. The charger controller was like $8. And of course the wires and the shutoff, I can't remember how much this was. I think it was around $24. And like I said, the power inverter itself was $99.99, and now it's $105, $106. But it's a cheap way to get solar on a vehicle. Always make sure you have fuses Now, if I ran my fridge off this, I would replace this with a 15 amp fuse. And you can see how I have it there. Alright, that's it. I'm fixing to go. I just thought you'd be interested in seeing what I've been doing with the van. I may mount some solar on the roof. But if I do, I have to get rid of my ladder rack up there. Because that will interfere. And always make sure these are on. Like I said, I may put some solar up here, but if I do, I'll have to get rid of those. And I was thinking probably 4 or 5 panels should work for me. And this van's all kinds of falling apart. But that's it. I thought you'd enjoy seeing what I did. I did this today. It did take me a little while because my drill was dead. So I had to hook up get my corded drill and do a lot of stuff with it. This is, one is 15/16 and one is 5/8, I believe, or 3/8. I think it's 3/8 and 15/16. So there are different sizes. You'll have to take that into account if you get a power inverter. When you put your ends on, the hardwire on, these are different sizes. You can buy them the same size, and I bought this in a set. It's just I haven't done anything with them. And I figured, you know what, it's no thunderstorms today. It's really nice out. So I guess I'll go ahead and do something with them. And this is what I came up with. Since we do have the fridge, this is what I planned on doing anyway with the fridge, was put these in the van, put this on for the fridge, or cut the cable and hardwire the fridge here and here. I could also set a battery here and hardwire that battery in. And that way I could turn my starter battery off if I needed to. You know, and just let it pull off that battery. And if I had to, I could start my starter battery, kick this over, and help charge a separate battery. But as you can see, it's working. And like I said, I can't start the vehicle, so, you know, cheap solar. This does not produce a lot of power. It's only 30 watt. It's like 1.7 amps, something like that. So it is not a very strong solar panel. But having something like this for like a weekend, or if you're, like I say, if you just want to charge stuff like battery packs, and maybe have a power inverter in your vehicle that you can use if your vehicle's running, to run something like, I don't know, a microwave or something like that, or a fan or whatever. And you can also wire 12-volt fans to these. And I can put more USB plugs on here. So, anyway, I figured you'd enjoy seeing what I've been doing. I know it looks a total mess, but honestly, I'm not too much into being a neat person on this. I just wanted to get it done. So I can 100% absolutely leave this solar panel out here. What I will do is I will disconnect the solar panel before I shut the battery off. Always make sure you have a battery hooked up to your charger controller before you hook your solar up. And if you turn your battery off, make sure, if you take it off, make sure your solar panel is disconnected first. Alright, that's it. I'm fixing to go. Thought you might enjoy it. And here's what it looks like. I know it looks a mess, but hey, you know what? I had fun doing it, and it is useful. Alright, that's it. Everyone have a good one. Bye.